was just one. Where y'all from?
Um, different places, but we're all on
Cool,
the
man.
same planet.
Cool, man. I'm from Brazil. Have you been here?
Uh, sorry, what you said?
I'm from Brazil. Have you been here?
Um, I never had a chance to go there. To go there, but
All right.
I know a lot of people from Brazil.
Yes. Yeah, Brazil,
Most of them are like,
very big
yeah,
country.
yeah, it is. It is a one of the big countries by size.
Interesting.
Yeah. They say they come and go.
Yeah, they come and go. They're careless. I call them zombies. We're not aware of their environment. They enter a place. They don't know what is that place. They don't know why they entered. Okay, so you want to talk about those topics?
All right, tell me. Let me ask you a question. What is your thought on existence of the creator?
Okay, did you see my profile picture?
All right, so you see yourself as a agnostic, atheist. I mean, I know that these are two different things.
Yeah, you can be happy and rich. Two different things.
All right, which one are you? Are you, um, so you're both, right? Agnostic,
Yeah, and
atheist.
if they're two different things, you can be both, right? If they're not contradicting.
Right. Well, everybody's different. Some people have a need for, uh, like they want an answer for their every question that they have. So they, um, and the existence of God and the concept of God is somehow is like a answer for their question, whether that be like um, you know accident or like a happy moment. They
Hmm.
see as a they see their happy moments as a gift from God because they did something good, and they see the bad moments as a punishment because they did wrong things. But think um, when you think that way, it kind of fits logically
Oh,
because everything has an effect and cause, right? So when you do something bad, um, it may have some bad effect. So like some people believe in karma, right? Some believe in concept of God. So and there are like thousands of religions. Some may accept, um, and there are religions uh, that many people follow. Like you can name top three religions in the world, like Christianity or Islam or Hinduism, right? Because um, these religions, I think, they have similarities, and they have a lot of common things that have a lot of things in common. Like take Islam and Christianity. They're the practices the things that they do is kind of similar, and their belief is also the same. They believe in oneness of God. Um, but they do things differently, and I believe that these intricate things. may cause a conflict between these two group of people, and that's I mean that's the reason why most of the people depart from each other, and create their own version of belief. That's why we have like a lot of beliefs in our world.
Yeah, there are different people.
Right. So we have a concept of God since we came on Earth. It's not something that people they came up with.
Wait a second. You say we didn't come up with this concept?
Every person that lived on Earth, they had the same question. What's the purpose of life? Why we came here?
Yeah, those are just
That's the
questions.
question that everybody had.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean there is a purpose.
Well, everything has a purpose, though.
Everything has a purpose?
Yes,
How do they know
everything.
that?
Well, well, there's a sun, right? I mean, there's a plant, and without sun, plants won't grow. And there's a
Okay. Those are causes. You
um,
can't say that it was the purpose of the sun to grow a plant. You can't say that, right?
but they linked to each other.
Okay, things link each other because there is causation in the universe. Things cause other things, but that doesn't mean that was the purpose, right? For example, do you think that the purpose of the sun is to burn Mercury, the first planet? It's too hot. It's burning like hell. Do you think that was the purpose? That is the purpose? I had a video
Uh,
which name was, I think it was a short. Does God hate Mercury?
the Mercury. Well, they have place and order. Um, and the one that the closer to the sun is the burning
Yeah, that's
one.
just the result. That doesn't mean that was the purpose. You can't say that it was the purpose of God to burn the Mercury or to freeze Pluto. It's just the result. Mercury is so
Right.
close, that's why
So
it's hot. Pluto is so far,
mhm.
that's why it's too cold. In between or closer, there's this habitable zone where water can stay as liquid. So then it stays liquid. So it's a result. You can't say that it's a purpose. It could be, by the way. I'm not claiming that it was not a purpose. I'm not claiming that. But to be able to believe in that, I need evidence for that. I need good evidence. For example, when you see that, well, let's suppose your room, okay? You entered your room and you have seen, wait a second, things are not in their places. Everything is messed up, okay? What can you
Mhm.
say? That was just happened? That was a result? Or someone wanted to do that intentionally? If you don't know
Well,
that,
if you
you can't claim that there was a purpose. You can only say that, okay, there's a cause, because it didn't happen magically without any cause. Yes, we believe that. We know that there is a cause. But cause doesn't mean purpose.
right, most of the people who don't believe in God, they gave an idea of well, they mostly they use the creation of the universe as an argument. For example, they believe in a Big Bang, right? So the creation of the universe is just a result of the Big Bang, and it is a result of a randomness. Um, but if you look at the universe, the science says that everything is placed um, in a perfect way, that even the Earth gets out of its course by an inch, it will cause um, a problem, right?
Yeah, that doesn't
everything will
mean
fall apart.
that
If
doesn't
you
mean
move something,
that doesn't
it's not
mean
just like a
someone put it
randomness that.
there. You can't claim that. As I said, like it's the result. Sure, if you change things, then the result will be different. That's clear. That's obvious. That's logical. But again, just because something changed when you change something, that doesn't mean someone put it there.
I'm not saying somebody's is putting it there.
Okay.
Why I didn't get
What
there
are you
yet.
saying then?
I'm just saying it's not just the result of randomness.
Oh, then
It
what?
doesn't happen that way.
Then what? Let's get to the point.
It's like a trillion. It's like a 1 in a trillion.
Yeah, but let's
There's no
get
way
to
that
the
it could.
point. If not randomness, then what?
Like I said, everything is placed in a perfect way. If you
So
change
now you're
something,
talking about
you
God.
can. Well, I didn't get to that yet. So
Okay,
just
let's get there because like we don't have to waste time. So if not randomness, then what?
then there's no other options.
Okay, what
It
is the
means that
option?
there's a creator.
Yeah, so like
I
that's the
put
whole
things
point.
I put things in a perfect way.
Perfect way. Okay. So you think
Right.
that Mercury is in the perfect place?
Mercury.
Yeah, it's in the perfect place. Or Pluto, it's in the perfect
Well,
place.
everything has a purpose. The Mercury. You don't. Well, I can give you the same question. Why the planets, like let's say the Earth is placed a fourth after the Venus. Why it's not the first one, or why it's not the last one among the eight of the planets in the which circling around the sun. Why it's in the middle? Why it's in the order which is not very hot or very too cold. It's a perfect place for the Earth to be in. Why it's not in the place of the Mercury?
What a question.
Earth is a place in order so that humans can live, so that
So that
other
humans can leave?
living beings.
Okay, man, like this is just assumption, okay?
All right, look at yourself. You can't live in the Mercury, or
Yeah,
you can't
we
live in the
cannot.
Venus.
So we cannot because it's hot. That's why we cannot leave. But that doesn't
Right.
mean
So that's why
that doesn't mean someone put Mercury there so that we couldn't live there. You can't claim that, okay? Or you can't claim the same, like, oh, someone put Earth here so that we could live here. You can't claim that also. We live here because the Earth came to this position in time. It was not here back in time. But
so
it's
so
gravity.
that's
It's gravity. It came here by time. That's all. And just because the temperature allowed water to stay liquid, then life probably appeared, and then the rest. But to be able to assume that, as I said, like you remember the room example, you have to know that there, like, what is the cause? You have to know that the cause intentionally created those things and put those things in that order. If you can't observe that, if you don't have proof for that, you shouldn't claim that there was a purpose. So let's, like, I don't know your religion, I don't have to know, but seemingly you believe in a creator who is intelligent, who can create things, in a purpose. Okay, this gun must have properties, a lot of properties, like starting from intelligence, power, right? And probably many other properties. Okay, then who had that purpose? Who created God in that way? So God has specific properties. If one of them was different, then there wouldn't be such a God. It would be different, or maybe there wouldn't be any God. And so what? That means someone created God? Yeah, we will wait. Someone else the mic, maybe we can continue. Okay, we end.
Hi,
Hey,
it's been. Huh? I guess maybe everybody can talk. Maybe then we'll get some points because I think similar that everything is random. So we both are not going to any contradictions now.
Yeah, and there's this analogy also I want to give it. If that was the case, look at this universe. It's so big, very big. Even our solar system, the distances are so big. Like if we want to travel, it takes months to reach even other planets. Okay, God created, right? God put Earth in this place. God could do that. God did it. God, brought the water and all other things, or created all those things in that place, or whatever. Okay, why not other planets? I mean, if God can do it here in this zone where Earth locates right now, why God cannot do the same for other planets like Venus or Mars? For humans, he created us. He knew that we will want to go to other planets. At least Venus and Mars could have the similar conditions, like a hotel. Like when you go to a hotel, like it's not only your room suitable for your life, right? All other rooms are suitable for other humans. And let's think this solar system is like a hotel. Why the hell only one room is available? Even this room, this planet, Earth, there are places that we are not able to live properly. We can't live everywhere suitably because it's not suitable. We can't live properly on the North Pole or South Pole.
Let's imagine, just for the sake of the conversation, let's imagine it's quite big project that to make a planet livable and creating all these things. Let's say it's a quite big project, and God is done with creating one planet and not with other. But what I think is, if he is a conscious entity like that and know what we want, why not just prove to us that he's there? That shouldn't be a very big problem. Why not just prove to us? Why not just talk to us or give some obvious proof?
Okay, that's the question also. Maybe God doesn't want to do that. Or maybe God is not here anymore.
What
Maybe
could be
God
the reason?
maybe God killed himself. Or maybe God doesn't exist.
Then why do we have to pray now?
Who said that you have to pray?
Um, I mean, like I said, I think we need to talk to at least one religious people so
Mm,
that it can be a debate. Or
okay.
Ludi or Bernardo, do you guys believe in anything, God or religion?
Yeah. Do you guys believe in that?
Nice. Are you okay? This room is attracting agnostics or atheists, I guess. But yeah, this is the question I have. Like when my mother say you have to follow culture, you have to, pray, and is she like tell me why I have to do that? What am I getting?
Okay.
I'm trying to, talk. I'm trying to reason it out. I'm not saying there's nothing out there. I don't want to pray, or um, this. That is why this topic is quite interesting because we don't know what is there and what is not. Like if God is there or not. I can't even prove that God is not there.
Okay. Ludi, he doesn't believe in God also, right?
Okay. We have lost the only believer then.
What is your reason for becoming atheist?
Okay, it was simple for me. I started thinking more deeply about the, reasons why I believe a God exists. I realized that I don't have good evidence. That's all.
Okay. And did you never experience anything that you cannot explain, like supernatural or anything like that?
No, no, no. But even if such a thing happens, I would just say, okay, it's something that I cannot explain. That's all. Sure, it depends on the experience, but I wouldn't go and immediately say, oh, wait, it must be a God. No, I wouldn't do that.
Mhm. What do you feel? Do you think everybody has their own beliefs, or do you think they are foolish and they are just believing stuff?
Sorry, come again?
What I'm saying is, I'm asking actually, do you think religion should exist or not?
Oh, I don't have big problems with religions. Uh, I care about the well-being of the society. If it helps, then it's okay. But if it starts harming more and more, then yeah, it shouldn't. But so far, societies are okay with the religions. If it was something that they got so much harm, they wouldn't keep it. They wouldn't keep it. They would get rid of it. And seemingly they need, right? Because there are a lot of problems. All, you know, all the history shows that there was no, long time that people were always in a good, condition. There are always wars, there are always problems, and people are full of sufferings. And I think the best way to ease their pain is just, to believe that there is a super powerful being out there who watches them, and the day will come, and then they will be rewarded, or they will get rid of all those pains, or they will see the people they have lost, the ones that they love, and all that gives them a lot of hope or loneliness, right? Many people are so
Mm,
lonely, but when they pray to a God, they don't feel alone anymore. So, still, many people on this planet need such kind of a thing. They seek such kind of a support. Sometimes, and mostly, it's not enough like that. Your friend, talks to you, and mostly it's not even sincere, right? But when they
mm,
talk to a God, they feel like, okay, yeah, it's the right place to talk, because it's the only thing that can solve those problems. If it's not solving, they think that, oh, there must be a good reason behind that. But when it comes to your friends, you don't think like that, right? If your friend doesn't help, you don't say, hey, wait a second, oh, he or she must have a good reason why she's not helping me, right? So yeah, they're really good excuses when it comes to God. And yeah, many benefits. We cannot ignore that. And the meaning, right? Like, people ask always about what is the meaning, as if there is a meaning. Maybe there's no any meaning. Maybe it's just random, as we mentioned, or
Why did
pointless.
we, mm, why did you have difficulty accepting that? You don't need to have a meaning for life. Like, why can't we accept that? Like, why is it difficult to accept that we don't need to have a meaning for life? Do we
Be-
need to?
because like this is what we are being taught, right? That's why it's hard for people to, stop believing in many other things that they don't have good evidence, right? Because they have been taught from the very childhood, right? Like when we were kids, we we started praying to a god, right? Even when we were kids. Why? It is intuitive? No, we learned that from our parents, from the environment. So we just learn it. And when you learn such a thing from the very beginning, that's why it's really hard to get rid of. And
We
some people,
also learned. Sorry,
yeah,
go
go on.
on.
And also, people are lazy. Like they don't imagine, they don't create, purposes for themselves for their lives. They don't, give meaning by themselves. They waited from other people. They wait other people to say, "Hey, you know what? This is the meaning of your life." Oh, really? Okay, I take it because I'm so fucking lazy. I should accept that this is true and I should go with it. That's what people do.
Do you have a meaning for your life, philosopher?
Look, instead of saying meaning, I say purpose. I have a lot of purposes and I go for them.
I see. What if you don't have one? Let's say you fulfill all your purposes, and then what? Will you find a new one?
If I do that, yeah, why not? If I feel like I'm consuming those purposes, I would be on the way of thinking about the new ones. But my purposes, I don't think I can consume. I'm curious, very curious about the universe, about the existence, and I don't think I will ever finish asking questions and trying to learn or think. That's for me never ending process. I mean, till I die, I can do that.
Okay. And your name, philosopher, is it in? Is it like you made it consciously
Yeah.
to? Mhm.
After I left religions, after I stopped believing in God, in my process, as I explained, I started reasoning, thinking, questioning my beliefs, and yeah, and I feel like now I think more clearly. That's why I called myself sober. Not sober in the literal way, but it's like
Mm,
I don't have
got it.
those beliefs in the first place because all those beliefs are just, confusing your mind when you try to think critically. It's better to start with blank page and think like that. Maybe then you can reach the truth if it's possible. But if you start with a lot of assumptions in the first place, yeah, you will less likely reach the point. Rush, you're
But
welcome.
hi, that's how we started. And when we are born, we know nothing, and we take guidance of others. And most of the time, that's how we get it. Like yeah, have to believe in something so that things get easy for you. Maybe maybe they think that, or they don't even realize what they are passing on.
Yeah, but that's also like an evolutionary process, right? Like we couldn't start reasoning at that point, right? We were not able to do that. We should accept whatever they give us so that we can survive, right? It's like a survival instinct. Like we don't have the time to learn about the environment, about the dangers, right? You just learn it, and you don't question it is false or not. Like the intuition, right? like think like an animal. Like you hear a noise and you got scared. It can be a lion, and it doesn't have to be a lion. You just run away so that you can save yourself, right? So you believe that it could be an animal, wild lion. So it saves a lot of times, right? I mean, and it saves your life also.
It's like better to be safe
Safe
than
than sorry.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but we are not there anymore. So that's why we can stop. We can say, wait a second, like let's get rid of many of those beliefs that we didn't question it in the first place. Yeah, we needed them. Because like imagine a kid says that, hey, you know what, I don't believe in God. That would be disastrous for the kid if the parents are religious. They don't have to be even deeply religious, right? The kid can have huge problems, right? So again, it's very practical and survival. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, and after some age, yeah, we can stop and we can wait a second. Like, do I still need those things, those beliefs?
Um,
Yeah. Yes, you do actually.
Oh,
If you hear a
I,
loud noise, the first thing you do is look around you real quick to see if anything's falling on you. If there's not, you're good. But if there was something heading your way, you move the hell out of the way. It's the
yeah,
same. It's the same thing.
yeah. But well, my question is about these, questions, gods and others.
oh, I feel that instead of directly, like instead of people saying, um, the example that you gave, if a kid come and say, "Oh, I don't believe in God," and it could be disrespecting for parents. But what if we come with questions like, "Okay, we pray. Who is listening?" Or how do we know that somebody is listening? Why not just show himself? Or starting questioning. Maybe kid might not understand a lot of things, but if that mentality of questioning is there in you, you start to think. Kids start to learn, develop critical thinking, and
God, God is just an extension of our designs. That's all he is.
yeah, but people don't believe that.
Well, they can
People
believe what they
don't
want.
believe.
It's just another extension.
Yes. So we can leave it like that, that you can believe whatever you want, and this is what my belief is. But yeah, we are trying to, reason it. We are trying to reason it. Maybe, let's say I believe that it's an extension. Let's say some other person believe that it's not extension, but there is someone out there. Then
Hmm.
I try to reason it instead of thinking that, oh, it's his belief, it's nothing to do with me. But instead of thinking like that, maybe we should be in their shoes and try to reason it out. And if still doesn't look reasonable for us, then it's fine. At least, yeah. At least we should think. We should think deeply what could be the truth.
Okay. I mean, there was never any reason to believe in God other than um, indirect confusion. You've never actually seen any evidence of a God, direct evidence of a God. So it's clearly something that we are, it's a sort of a post hoc conclusion. This is happening, this is happening. There must be a God. What?
I think people don't want to leave anything without answers. They need some kind of conclusion, whatever it is. Otherwise, maybe at least some people don't want to keep the question in the open. Don't want to it's not like a blame, but some people don't have peace with that. Let's ask someone to keep their mind open that God maybe there is God or may not be. But let's say if really God exists, what does He want from humans? Even religious books say that God wants you to be a good person. That's it, as simple as that.
Yeah. We want us to
And
be good people, and we enforce it with the supervision of a made-up God. It's an extension of what we want. We want people to be good people, and we enforce it by making up a supervisor.
so that people are scared to do crime. They
Yeah,
think that there is a supervisor and he
yeah,
punish
yeah,
us.
yeah.
That's a good thing. That's why we need religion. But in the name of religion, if people are killing, then there is no point.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, that's it. That's why you know that it's just an extension of what they want. They end up killing each other over this shit. So nobody's being nice in the name of religion. They're being dominant. They're being aggressive. They're being condemning. They're being all kinds of bullshit. And yet they're still talking about God. Get the hell out of here.
So it's like they believe that if we do all these things in the name of God, nothing can
Yeah.
happen to us. We
Well,
can go to heavens and have a good life.
yeah. Good life. It's going to be a very quiet life. It's amazing. Yeah, I really, I wish there was an afterlife. I would rather live for eternity myself. A lot of people think that's not a good idea, but the possibilities are endless, and I think it is a good idea. I don't like the idea of not living for eternity. I don't like it. Once you've been here, once you've experienced awareness, you don't want to leave that. You don't want to leave your ability to experience reality. As long as it's good reality, you don't want to leave that.
Even if we make life quite cozy and comfortable and can live forever, have all the luxury or social connections and can live forever, how long? When you not get bored of life?
Nah, boredom is a brain state. You can manipulate your brain states to never be bored.
Is it possible?
Sure, everything is a brain state. Everything that you are aware of, that you experience, it, it's a brain state that
But
helps that
what?
that allows you to experience it. So if you're bored, you fix it.
And do you think what if you live for 1,000 years and later you still want to live and maybe think that there might be different experiences in the world that um, we can get excited about?
Yeah. What's your question? I don't know what your question is.
Um, I'm just wondering, let's say you lived for 1,000 years
Yeah.
and you did everything that you could, like there is nothing more that you can think of. And then
Mhm.
what? What happened?
What'll happen? Again, if once you start messing around with the brain, you can reset it and start all over and never even remember that you did anything. But once
It's
you
like
are able to create
Free
your own
Palestine.
experience, there's no limits.
Free
and
Palestine.
What?
Free Palestine.
Okay. You know what I mean? It's a once you're able to create your own experience, there are no limits.
I still doubt that. I'm still not convinced that we can train our brain to never get bored.
You don't train it, you manipulate it. You can create a brain state through stimulation. You can create memories, you can create attitudes, you can create anything if you properly stimulate the brain.
Um, so we are creating a robot with a biological entity.
Say again?
So it's like we are creating a robot with biological entity.
You're creating a what?
A robot.
Oh, a
A bot.
robot.
Bot.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh-huh. Um, I don't. You don't have to use the word robot. You're not a robot. A robot is something that's programmed from by somebody else, uh, and it only does what it's programmed to do. I mean, we are robotic in a sense, but I don't worry about trying to defend the idea that we're robots. Yeah, we're robots, but we are very creative robots with a limitless capability when it comes to experience.
If I get the choice of I can live forever,
Uh,
or
or
I'm
not.
thinking,
You're trying to make up your mind?
yeah, I like I don't think I will be ready for that because I still really believe that if we live for a long enough, we'll have nothing to do. Even if we
Yeah.
explore entire world, all the earth, and I'm,
Well, yeah,
I'm,
I know.
yeah,
I'm getting ahead of myself with all of this because that is a problem that I see coming. We're very busy on this planet trying to solve everything, and all we really are as living organisms, all we really are organisms that adapt to their environment. And when we adapt successfully, we continue. That's it. If you're done adapting to your environment, I'm wondering what the hell we're going to do. So that's already going to become a problem as we automate and uh, everything and anything. You know, what do you do with your free time? But it depends on what you. It depends on what you leave intact. It depends on your design on things. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. You can always create old experiences, new experiences. I mean, I don't know. There's no limit to what you can do or how you can feel. There's no limits. Not if you're in control of how to stimulate your brain, which is your experience. Don't worry about it. Live forever. Don't make the mistake of leaving. Live forever. It's not really a mistake. You're not really going to experience anything. If you enter oblivion, it's there's nothing to it. Very simple. But the state of being aware for me is endlessly amazing. Endlessly amazing. So we're already talking about eternity. You don't think being aware is much better than not being aware?
Why is that?
You don't think experiencing is better than not experiencing?
Maybe it
And
depends on the experience.
Yeah, well, you're going to be in control of that, or to the extent that you want to be.
That would be
It's
great.
good.
When you start having a lot of pain, there should be a
Yeah,
button that you just push and no pain at all, no
yeah.
awareness. When there are many stupid people around you, you push just a button and you're just, you don't see them.
Mhm.
So,
And suddenly there's a club in your hand and you can take care of them. Mhm.
mm, unfortunately, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Like there is someone here. Let me. Or the name. Oh, there's no name. But what's that? Queen?
Oh, that's the king.
That's the king.
king.
Okay.
Yeah.
King, Golden King.
What's up, king?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Oh, yeah, checkmate.
Nobody can checkmate me because I'm a believer of God. Hmm.
Oh, we got a problem here.
Let's see. Let's see.
You are a God believer, Mr. King?
Yeah, I do believe in God.
Okay. Do you have a religion?
Oh well, I'm not a believer of religion, but I'm a believer of God.
Okay. So you don't ascribe to any religion or their
Yeah,
doctrine. But you do
yeah,
believe in the concept that there must be a God behind all of this.
exactly. A creator, almighty, omnipotent.
Who does he interfere in human affairs or not?
Oh yeah, he does.
He,
He definitely does.
he does interfere.
Yeah.
Do you know how often or how he does?
Uh, well, I have a different theory. So when it comes to human interference and interference in everything like natural calamities or catastrophe. So it
Yeah.
though all these things are coming from religion. I believe that there is something supreme which has controlled everything, which has
Uh,
created everything,
uh,
and which is balancing everything. And yeah, so something like this. And which is helping me as well.
so you mentioned the word balance. So in other words, you have to have disasters to balance birth rate.
Well, there is a theory, Malthus theory, if you have heard about this.
What is
Have
it
you
called?
Malthus theory?
I don't know how do you spell that? Put it in the side chat.
So the Malthusian theory of population is propagated by Malthus. His name is Malthus,
Oh,
where where it says population growth tends to outpace the growth of resources, particularly food supply, leading
right.
to checks on population growth such as famine, diseases, and poverty.
Yeah, there's a problem with resources and consumption working out properly,
Hmm.
but we're working on that.
Here we go.
Let me see. Malthusian theory. Proposed by
Yep.
Thomas Robert Malthus says the population growth will always tend to outrun the food supply, leading to poverty and famine.
Yeah, but what about those problems, man? Like, who's causing those problems? The God that you believe in?
Eventually, while food production increases,
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe, maybe not. You don't know that.
balance.
Yeah.
So God is not in
Because
control of those
sometimes,
things, maybe?
yes, sometimes we face the consequence of what we do. Like if
Okay, no
this is,
problem. But what about earthquake?
yeah, earthquake is natural. Yeah.
Okay, and who gives that? God
And
gives that?
uh, yeah, because who else can
Who
create
else
such
can?
calamity?
Uh,
Science says it's a platonic movement,
yeah.
but when you ask who does this platonic movement, there is no answer. And science says there is Big Bang, and if I ask who causes Big Bang, there is no answer to it.
But man, like we can go like that till infinity. Like who causes your God? Or who causes the creator of this universe?
There is
So
nothing
there's
called
no
my
end.
God. Yeah,
There's
there's
nothing.
nothing called my God and
Okay,
your
then why
God.
you change your opinion? So like if one thing can exist with no cause, why not? Like you seek cause for this universe.
So there are two possibilities. One,
Mhm.
or my premise. I have two premises. So one could be God is so powerful that nobody, like with the help of scientific apparatus, can know about his or her existence. Or second thing, there is no God. Like even though we try hard, we try anything, we wouldn't be able to we wouldn't be able to conclude whether there is God or not. So I still have two logics or rationale, and I'm because I'm genuinely believing in God since my childhood, and I have been well, I would say I'm being a little selfish when I'm in trouble. I remember him, and I have faith in him. I believe like someone is helping me when I'm in trouble, and I don't find difficulties when I'm in trouble. So yeah, I'm a believer.
If there was no humanity in existence, just the universe, would you think there was a God behind that had created that? Or is it only on the arrival of humanity that makes you think this is proof, basically? This is a demonstration that there is a God. Which is it? If there's no humanity, just the universe, is there a God?
Well, humanity is what we have created for our convenience. When it
Uh,
comes to other species,
Slow
we
down,
forget.
slow down, slow down. If there's no humanity, just the universe, is there a God?
Oh yeah.
Yes?
Hmm.
Okay. Do you think you need a God for all of that havoc that's going on in the universe? Stars exploding, constellation. I mean, universe, not universes. What do you call it? Galaxies colliding. You think you need a God for that?
Yeah, but we
Well,
dodged immediately the problem here. Like, if one needs another, then your God needs another also. Like through your logic, because you're saying that the universe cannot exist by itself. It requires a cause, and it must be a God. And then the logic follows: your God requires another cause to exist. What's that cause? And you're saying, oh, no, no, God doesn't have such a cause. So that means you're creating an exception without any justification. And what I'm saying, if you can believe in one thing with no cause, other people can believe other things with no cause, and it can be universe. I can say, okay, wait a second. If something can exist with no cause, I think the universe exists with no cause. Why not? Because you believe in the same thing. You believe that something can exist with no cause.
that's what makes you you. That's what makes me me. We
Oh, you don't want to reason? Okay, cool.
Well, he's introducing the supernatural when he says God is without a cause. He's making the assumption that there's a supernatural existence known as God that does not rely on a cause. That's the assumption he's making. Whereas everything physical that you see, he is assuming needs a cause because he can see that one thing causes another and another. But so he's making that assumption of the supernatural when it comes to God. He doesn't need to come up with a cause. He's already made that leap of logic.
Yeah, and that's also another fallacy, composition division fallacy. You look
Well,
at the parts in the universe, they require causes, but that doesn't mean
right.
the whole universe, the whole existence needed a cause. You can't claim that. We don't know that. As someone said in the YouTube chat box, the Big Bang is not just the creation or it's the beginning of the creation. You can't say that there was nothing and then the Big Bang appeared, popped in. No, like it just started expanding and we don't call it like it started existing. So maybe, yeah, everything here already existed and we don't need to seek for a cause for that.
I don't know if
I
there's.
have a
I don't. I would.
question.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. What?
Yeah, I have a question for the king. So you said you don't believe in religion, and but you believe in God. So what rules apply to you? Usually, people who believe in religion, they have rules from religion. That's what they follow. But where do you get your rules? I mean, how do you follow it?
Well, that's a very simple question. Do I have to follow certain set of rules in order to be a believer of God?
That's my question. So because I have never heard something like this, that somebody don't believe in religion but they believe in God. Then how their life is, what they follow. That I'm curious to know about that.
Okay, so if I, well, I have read almost two or three religions, and of course, my family has been practicing one particular religion. I would not disclose that, but I don't really believe in that because I don't believe in that religion. But since my childhood, I have been believing in God. There is a God who has been constantly helping me everywhere, and so I'm believer of I'm a believer of God, not the believer of religion, because religion teaches us a lot of bullshit things which I don't subscribe to. So
Then yeah, that I understood. But how do you live? Like um, h-
I live
do
like a
you?
normal I live like a normal human being. I believe in humanity. I believe in helping other people. I believe in everything ethical, rational, and moral. But I'm not a
You
follower of
believe
any.
God helps you. How do you feel about all the people that are not being helped by God? How do you justify that? How do you rationalize that?
Yeah,
You think you're being helped, and yet there's millions of people who are not being helped. Would you agree?
how would you say they're not being helped?
Well, there's starvation all the time throughout the world.
Starvation was not created by God. It was not in nature. Have you ever seen a dog dying out of starvation or any other species dying out of starvation? It is us. It is our political agendas created by us. It is our problems created by us.
In the animal kingdom, you have starvation.
You will generally not find any starvation.
Generally doesn't work. There is
Because
starvation in the animal world.
in Emilia, you would see everyone struggling to for their food, and you not see starvation as you say in here in with Homo sapiens. I would say.
Listen,
No,
if there is starvation in the animal world, in the animal kingdom, there is starvation. How do you explain that?
just because we don't see it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Why do you
Oh,
think humans are populated on Earth and not animals?
we have conducted studies to see what's going on. Initially, we didn't have technology, but later we have it. We have cameras. We have the whole set of theories and apparatus to see what's happening in the nature. And we found that everyone, like including every species, are struggling. But there is no such thing as starvation to a very significant extent in other species as compared to human being. So let's say we have wars. Like let's say right now Israel is attacking, Iran is attacking Israel, and now we'll say God has done this, and God has created the situation where Iran was bound to attack Israel, and the people who died in Israel were died because of God. No, it is us. It is us who are misusing the resources given to us. It was not supposed to used in wars and attacks and invasion and different other things. So this is human being who has created all the problems by themselves.
How do you know? Who told you that we are misusing and we should not do that?
Well, of course, we are misusing. If you have common sense, you would definitely understand this.
That's just common sense. That's it.
Oh yeah, this
And
is this
and
is
you
how
say
you.
and you say that animals are not dying with starvation, and is that also common sense?
Well, they die out of starvation. Like I'd say, if a lion is old, he cannot hunt anymore, then he'll definitely die. There is no father, like there is no concept of father or family who will feed him. He will definitely die out of starvation or hunger.
I don't know. So your God has created everything physical, but he
Well,
doesn't,
that's yeah.
he doesn't have a design that includes morality or direction or anything. But that's up to us. He's just created all the physical, and we're busy fucking it up.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, my God doesn't come to me and talk to me every day, and he doesn't answer my questions. It's not fucking possible. It's me who believes in him. So if he would come to me one day, I have a bunch of questions for him. So I would definitely ask him one by one. Of course, I'm also having so many dilemma and so many ethical questions. So and I have a bunch of queries,
You have a bunch of what?
questions, doubts.
Queries. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a very clear definition of your concept of God.
This is where the problem comes when you try to define God, when you try to look at it from a scientific perspective.
I'm not even
Like
trying to be scientific. I'm just trying to be rational about it.
this is called the scientific way of method of knowing something, where you try to define something. Or when if you think for a while, if God has created universe, like there is someone, let's say it was not God, it was an alien who
Did
created all
did
the.
didn't you arrive at the concept of God by rationalizing that there is one? Didn't Isn't that how you came to that concept?
Oh, well, I did.
Okay.
But if I want to define, how would I define it? Like, can I define him in a very small, like in 2 or 3 lines or two? I don't know what I'm saying. How would I define?
We're
Like, is it
asking
an
you.
is it an
You're the one
object?
that brought him up. You're the one that says he exists. How does this work?
So I can tell you his traits, like he's omniscient, omnipotent, all powerful, and he has, of course, created this. I say him God. He's basically a creator. It has to be a create. There has to be a creator.
There has to be a creator. Why do you say there has to be?
Uh, well, you see all the things working very smoothly, like
Very
Very
as
smoothly. There
smoothly.
was a fucking
Oh man.
storm yesterday, and one person died. You call it smooth?
so as you see the movement of planets, like the movement of Earth, the as we study physics, everything is very perfect.
Everything
Why?
is very
Why?
perfect. Like asteroids are hitting on planets. Even we believe that it wiped out many species on this planet. So you call this smooth? And we are always afraid that an asteroid can hit this planet and kill us, or a solar storm can destroy a lot of things, including us. We are always so. You call this
Yeah.
smooth?
Who has told you these things?
Who has told me those things? And who has told you
Like
that everything is perfect, man?
you're
You
buying. Well, if you do, you have you studied physics? Have you
I
studied?
studied
What
enough to not to think that everything is perfect. Yeah.
So you might have read gravity, gravitational force, and etc. Right?
So what? So what? Oh,
So
just because
if
one
you,
thing seems to you perfect, that means everything is perfect?
well, if you don't want to believe, you don't. If you want to believe, you
Can you
believe
answer
because
my
there is no.
question? Can you answer my question?
When
Why
you
the hell you're dodging my questions every time I ask? Just
exactly,
because you see
exactly,
something is perfect, that means everything is perfect?
all the physical phenomena are perfect in my opinion
All the
because
physical
so
phenomena.
physical phenomena, so to speak, planetary movement, rotation, revolution,
Yeah, they're not
gravity.
perfect also. We know that. Like they don't rotate, perfectly. Like there are even planets like they're tilted in different ways that they are um, um a rotation. Like how can you say that it's perfect? We approach the
So
sun, we go away from the sun.
we go away from the sun.
Yeah, like while rotating around the sun, it's not stable. Like we approach and we go far. You didn't know that?
well, in our orbit around the sun, we revolve around it.
Yeah. For example, why it's not a
Yeah,
perfect
exactly.
circle?
Exactly. I
And
understand
all
that.
planets, yeah, they orbit kind of differently, not in the same way. Like there's one planet that goes on the other, direction.
Exactly. So you see, is there any problem in planetary movement? As you say, it's not perfect. There is some flaws or something.
Yeah, and planets are approaching to the sun day by day, right? And maybe in millions of years, like they will crash into the sun. If you call this perfect, okay, but who decides what is perfect? And again, like there are many asteroids that they go
It's
randomly
not.
through the gravity, yes, but they crash planets, they crash moons.
Try to imagine how the universe was formed from the beginning. It was basically dust and heat and superheated plasma and whatever the hell it was early on. And you have forces in existence like whatever electromagnetism, weak force, strong force, gravity. These things help to shape how it ends up turning out, but naturally through the collection of mass and that this is that everything falls into a place according to its mass and its it's the forces that are playing on it. That's how things become orderly. Naturally, they become orderly. God didn't place them there. They arrived there through natural processes, right?
Yep.
God didn't
Yep.
place the universe where you see it now. It arrived there through natural processes. And it started
Right.
out as nothing but dust.
And it took 14 billion years with a god.
Yeah.
It's like my
Big Bang happened.
flu. When I get the medication, it takes 1 week. Without medication, again, 7 days.
Big Bang. Big Bang happened 3.8 billion years ago, right?
Yeah.
Key point.
Well, I
13,
said, so far as I
13.8.
have read, Big Bang happened 3.88 billion years ago, right?
3.
13.8. 13.8.
13.8.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're
Okay. Yeah.
deleting 10 billion years, man.
Yeah.
No. I
Missing
forgot.
10
I
billion
forgot that.
years.
Thank you for correcting me. I forgot that. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
What about it?
So, what led to Big Bang?
What led to it? That's a good question. We don't know. You're going to say God,
Yeah. Well, what's
Yeah.
led God to create other things?
but all you did was
So,
create the supernatural. We've never explained anything by the supernatural in the history of the world, in the history of existence of humanity thinking about things and reasoning about things. Never has there been an explanation based on the supernatural. Never. It's always been a natural explanation. So when you ask a difficult question, well, what was before the universe? Again, you don't know, but again, you're going to assume it was natural because that's all we've ever seen.
okay. So, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I'm asking this.
Yeah.
So, according to science, it says the world came out of nowhere. It came out of nothing. And in
Science says
science,
that.
we believe, yeah, in science, we believe nothing can come out of nothingness. This, this very concept comes where you explain, where you try to figure out what is Big Bang and what was before Big Bang, and we come to understand that there was nothing, and we came out of, or Big Bang emerged out of nowhere or out of nothing.
Not
So
really. Not
why?
really.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
think
would, I would
you misread science a little bit.
Yeah.
okay, I'll explain you some scientific terms if I'm forgetting, so. But deep down, I was reading an article from somewhere, probably to science.com, a research paper or something. So why would I not ask this question? What led to Big Bang?
You can. I
Where
don't
we
have
could
a
understand.
problem with that, man. But then you are burdening a question because of your question. I can ask the same question. What led God to create things?
Nobody knows that,
Oh,
but
okay,
science
so
defines.
what led the Big Bang? Nobody knows that, but yet you're here claiming to not know maybe, but you believe that. Oh wait, I have an answer. It's God who let the Big Bang to happen. But wait a
So they
second, we
also
don't know,
hide.
man. Like it can be anything, right? Maybe there
They
are
are,
hundreds of causes for the Big Bang to exist.
yeah, but we don't know about single of one single of them. So we don't
Yeah,
even know it was a god, it was a creator, maybe
yeah,
it
and
was
that's
an
why I
angel.
say I don't know. Like maybe that there are billions of causes of the Big Bang, or maybe there are just a few causes of the Big Bang. Or maybe this random guy is right. Maybe there's a God who caused the Big Bang, or maybe there is no cause at all. Because some believers, many believers, believe that one thing can exist with no cause. Oh wow, great! That's great inspiration for me. Then I will apply the same thing for the universe. Okay, if your God can exist with with no cause, then the universe exists with no cause. Why do you have a problem with that? Why you ask? Hey, wait, who led it? Who led it? Maybe no one.
Well, because
There
he's
was there
introducing the
was
supernatural at that point. The universe is all natural, and kind of impossible to think that it exists without a cause because it's all natural, and we only know natural cause and effect.
Yeah,
That
but again,
seems to be all
Horatio,
we
like
know.
that's a fallacy. You see causes for the things in the universe.
Right?
That doesn't suggest that the universe itself had a cause. You can't claim that.
Why not?
because it's a logical fallacy. Because some parts are working in a way that doesn't mean it's the same for the whole. For example,
Oh,
think
I
about
understand that fallacy. I understand that.
uh,
But again, I'm assuming there was a cause for the beginning of this universe. Are you saying no?
I'm saying I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm assuming. All right. But if you had to assume, what would you assume?
I
I
would
would assume there
assume
was a cause.
maybe many things.
No, one thing. I would
Why?
assume there was a cause.
Wait. A cause, when you say a cause, it can be multiple things, right?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, but I'm telling you because if you just take your reasoning from the universe, from your observations, I'm like, well, what we see? Like, we see a lot of causes for everything.
Okay.
Look at everything that you see right now. Do you think there is only one cause for them? Or many causes?
It's individual causes for individual occurrences.
Yes,
What's your point?
and Big Bang is an individual occurrence, and the cause can be multiple.
Okay. But either way, there was a cause.
No, I don't claim that. I like to be, like believers, like open a gate for no cause, like magic, okay? Because their gods are magical. They exist with no any cause. As you said, unnatural, right? Supernatural. Maybe the universe itself, well, when you think the whole universe, maybe it's magical, maybe it's unnatural. It just exists
No,
magically.
no,
So, okay. I mean, you don't like to entertain the idea. I understand
no.
that. But
Yeah,
this is not the point. Like, this is not my point as an atheist. I can say, okay, there can be multiple causes of this universe. We don't know that.
yeah, yeah. But they're all natural explanations.
They're
They're
all
not
natural
supernatural. They're not
explanation.
supernatural. They're not magical. They're not supernatural.
Okay, but what makes it natural?
What makes it natural?
Yeah,
The lack of supernatural.
the lack of supernatural.
Yeah, the laws of physics. The way real things will act. I mean, I don't know how to explain what natural is.
Yeah, not that we will go into problem of semantics, like what is
Yeah,
natural. Maybe
yeah,
God is
yeah,
natural too in that way.
yeah. I don't know.
Do you believe that everything that begins to exist has a cause, right?
Oh, this is
So if there's
Kalam,
a cause,
famous Kalam. We know that, man.
yeah, this is the cosmological argument
Yeah.
I have come across.
And then
And when we say the universe began to exist, this is now agreed upon in both philosophy and modern cosmology, right?
we don't agree
So,
because when you say began to exist, what you mean exactly?
well, it exactly began to exist. Before
Yeah.
that, it was not. It was not an universe. It was not. There was nothing.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
you can't
people,
say there was nothing.
yeah,
You
that's
don't
the
know
problem.
that. You don't know that. You don't know what there always was. You
And,
don't know.
in science, no one claims that there was absolute nothingness. Scientists, they don't talk about it.
Science, science has not solved a lot of questions yet,
And
so
there's
we
no
cannot
Oh,
rely
problem.
on.
There's no problem with that.
yeah. Science is
Exactly.
Science
proud of saying,
science
I
has
don't
had a
know.
history. Science has had a history of not being able to solve a problem, but eventually they do. And so now we have arrived at this question: where did the universe come from? They haven't solved it yet, but they've solved everything else, and it was a natural explanation, and that's what we're sticking with because there's no evidence for any other way to arrive at an answer other than natural explanations. There's never been any evidence for any other way to arrive at an answer. Never been any other evidence of no evidence of the supernatural ever. Never. So why introduce it now? Just because it's a big question? Where did the universe come from? That's a big question. That doesn't mean you go crazy. That doesn't mean you introduce the supernatural. No.
Oh, we lost them.
That's all right. He's lost anyway. He's still there. We still have him. We still have
Okay.
him.
I got reconnected.
Alrighty
Okay.
then.
Mhm.
No problem. Like everything what we say, even when you're not here, it's
He
on
had to
record.
he had to consult with his bishop, and now he's back.
No,
Okay.
sometimes it does happen.
Yeah, I know.
So it feels like agnosticism is the best way to stay away from these debates.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I'm into debate,
It is
man.
escape.
I'm an agnostic.
It is it is escape mechanism where you say I'm an agnostic. Well, I'm not a believer nor an atheist.
I'm an atheist at the same time. Look at my profile picture, man.
Let me ask you something. You said you were saying about this is such a wonderful, perfect design. Everything is operating perfectly. You kind of said that, right? The way the planets move, everything is so nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that would include everything. So even on this planet, everything is operating so nice, right?
hmm
Except for human.
Gravity, strong nuclear
Yeah,
force,
yeah,
the
everything is
cosmological
working.
constant.
Everything is working. The only thing that fucks everything up are human beings and the way they act. I think you also said that, right?
Uh, Not everything, fucking
Yeah,
everything, but a
I
lot
think
of
we
things.
Well,
corrected
if
that.
there's any
A lot of
problems,
things.
if there's any problems happening, it's going to be because of human beings, right?
Yeah, we have created a bunch of real big problems.
All right. Has there anything else created problems besides human beings? Has anything else created problems besides human beings?
Mm, yeah, there are some natural problems.
Natural problems, like what?
Like if I say volcanic eruption or
Yeah,
earthquake or tsunami
right. How about the animal?
and
How about
so on
the
and so
animal?
forth.
How about the animal kingdom? They're not
Yeah,
think.
animal kingdoms too
There's
have created problems. Like
there's
they have
problems
been
there.
invading.
Do you see the way they act? Do you see how they act? Have you ever seen a zebra eat a newborn zebra as it's coming out of its mother? Have you ever seen a video of that?
Well, I have not seen a video, but if you're saying, I know it's truth.
Yeah.
So I would,
This is
yeah.
all this is not a design by anybody with a fucking brain. This is natural nonsense. This is what graphically happens in a natural world. All you have to do is look at the animal kingdom and you can see the graphic brutality of existence. All right. It's not a design working perfectly. It works, it creates a balance. I get it, but it's a horror show. It's a nightmarish horror show. So there's no reason to think that anything intelligent would have created this fucking disaster. There's no reason to think anything intelligent is behind this.
Well, if I searched on the internet and it says this behavior is a result of specific circumstances, such as a new male zebra taking over a herd and killing foals to eliminate competition for resources and
Right,
to breed with the mares.
right, right.
Infanticide is not
That,
typical.
that's a beautiful design. That's beautiful. That somebody designed that, right? There was a creator responsible for that setup.
Uh-huh.
No, no, that's just natural garbage unfolding. That's all that is.
So you took one exception and take it as an example, and you think one particular phenomena can prove that the design is bullshit over
Oh,
a bunch of other rational designs.
yeah. Are you kidding me or what? I'm giving you that one example. There are endless examples. There's the young
Well,
that are born in a nest of birds, and the siblings will kill each other, and the strongest one will survive and continue to be fed by their parents. There's endless examples of brutality that you
but so was the
clearly.
case. Yeah, exactly. Similar was the case with Homo sapiens as well. Why would we survive, and why would we use all the resources for our benefits over others? Because we have got big brains, we have got brain to think rationally and logically, and we have developed technology, and that led, like, initially it was a cognitive revolution where we started thinking logically and rationally, and we used all the resources for our welfare, for our benefits. So it was us who has caused harm to the nature. So
No,
why would
no,
you?
no. Well, yeah, well, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't cause the problems in the animal kingdom. They are naturally problematic. But do you believe in evolution? Do you believe that humanity came from a lower form of life? Do you believe that?
Or yeah, I believe in evolution.
Okay, right down to the single cell organism, right?
Hmm.
That's okay. The single cell organism, all, and this is me imagining it. I'm trying to be as practical as possible. The single cell
Okay.
organism has no politics, no social grace, nothing. All it has is a membrane to keep its insides together. It bumps into something else. It either absorbs it, or it bounces off of it, or it detects that it might be a danger. This is it. This is what we do. This is in our DNA. That's why we are as aggressive as we are today. It's in our DNA from the beginning, when we had no politics, no morality, no consideration of anything other than chemical reactions to existence that fostered existence. That's it. That's whatever worked continued. And so, as a single cell organism, you simply absorb another living organism, or you don't. You don't think about it. You don't worry about it. You simply do it. That's in our DNA to this very day. We're doing the same thing, only in a much more sophisticated way. We're still doing the same shit.
Yeah.
That's all. It's no big deal. It's not a design that's so wonderful from somebody or something intelligent. It's not. It's just chemical reactions. You're a chemically based reactor, adapter to your environment. That's all you are. Now
Hmm.
you have the emergence of intelligence. That's the game changer, and that's the one that can look at itself and try to figure out what the fuck we might need to do. So the emergence of intelligence. That's the game changer. But
Yeah.
Your DNA is brutal from the beginning. Right, Otto? So I don't
It's
see.
it's 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 difficult to disagree with you when you mention the term evolution and you explain all the theories and concepts. So, my science teacher used to say that maybe we are the product of an experiment done by aliens.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
they.
There's a million dopey possibilities. We could be in a simulation. We could be whatever. Listen. Just look around you. That's what you're in the middle of.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if you're in a simulation or if this is the real thing. It doesn't matter. It's just going to be the same. You're still going to have the same experiences. You're not going to know any different. So anyway, I wanted to drive that point home that we started out without any political views, any morality views, nothing. It was all just chemical response to your environment. That's all it was. And it continues to be that way. Only now it's much more complicated. Now we have a more sophisticated, complicated brain that does a lot of shit, but it's still driven by your DNA. Your body at any given time of the day is constantly looking out for its well-being without even you knowing it. It's constantly doing that. Let me tell you something. In your experience, if you feel threatened, that will be your top priority, nothing else. If you have a toothache, that will be your top priority, nothing else. It's always your own well-being that is number one. And after that is secured, now you can engage more freely with your environment, with other people, with anything. But it's always a self-concern is always number one.
Hmm.
And it's all,
Okay, I understand that.
yeah, it's just a chemical adaptation that allows us to continue. If it wasn't doing that, you wouldn't continue. There's plenty of species that did not continue, and they didn't adapt very well.
Oh, well, I think they were also part of the result of that particular experiment, but they could not adapt with the environment, and they couldn't survive. So was the case with Neanderthals. So was the case with Homo habilis, and so was the case with Homo erectus. So as Homo sapiens, we got bigger brains, and now we are surviving. And there are so many different theories. Okay.
Okay.
But when the question comes, what led to these things, and so I have so many questions, but I
Yeah.
know science cannot answer those questions. So
Well,
even I'm curious.
complexity and sophistication are the driving uh, uh, forces behind success. The more complex you are, the more likely you are to be successful. I would think.
Hmm, hmm.
I would think. Not necessarily. That doesn't sound like a truth statement on its face, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. The more
I
advanced,
understand that.
yeah,
Yeah, I understand
the
that.
more advanced you are, the more of an upper hand you have in coping and succeeding.
Hmm.
That's all. And it's just
Philosopher,
evolution
do
that's driving
you
it.
have to say something about it?
Mutations and evolution. That's what's driving it.
Science is still trying to figure out. Even Isaac Newton, and Albert Einstein were the believer of God. They used to believe there is something God.
Yeah, everybody did back in his day. It's no big deal. God is a concept created for assistance. That's what we look for. You know, the environment for early forms of life was clearly much bigger than them. Volcanoes, earthquakes, tidal waves, drought, floods. So we look for assistance, something bigger than us to help, and therefore the creation of God. Especially if you look at at lightning and you think, "Wow, man, we pissed somebody off. Somebody's throwing electricity at us." But we figured it out. That's a natural process, and we figured out how to be safe from it. We figured it out. We figured out not to live next to a fucking volcano. We figured that out. Earthquakes, we're even on top of that. We know where the fault lines are. And you know, if you're gonna live there, good luck. If you live on the shore and you know the sea is rising, sea levels are rising, and one day your land, your real estate will be part of the ocean. You know, if you want to continue to live there, go ahead. But you already know. So intelligence is the game changer. It's the thing that can analyze what's going on. And that's the most mystical thing. The fact that we are aware of what we are, who we are, when we are, and how we can be. And it only developed 13.8 billion years later. Because before that, you were subject to whatever was going to happen, happened. You weren't clever enough to do anything about it. But through mutation and evolution and sophistication and complexity, we deal with everything a little bit better. But we're still brutal, aggressive animals. Again, starting from the one-celled organism. That's what's in our DNA. That's our main concern. Every individual is concerned about his or her well-being. That's the starting point. And we're working with it as best we can.
Mm.
But I don't attribute this as a design to a creator. That's garbage. It's garbage. Nobody with a fucking brain is going to come up with this horror show. They're not going to come up with this horror show. It's a horror show. We're making the best of it, but it's a fucking horror show. The only thing that materializes solutions is the human brain. That's the only thing that can materialize a solution. Your God's not doing any fucking thing. You don't see him, you don't hear him, you don't talk to him. You think he's helping you. That's bullshit. There's a zillion people on this planet he's not helping. So I don't even know how you get on to that. Oh, he's helping me. What about all these other millions? What's he doing for them? You're special? I don't think he's helping you. You're
I'm not.
helping. You're
I'm
helping
not. I'm not.
yourself. You're helping yourself. That's how it
Yeah,
happens.
I understand. I put efforts. I put all the endeavors. I'm saying there are a bunch of people who are also believers, and they also feel like something is helping them.
Yeah.
So it's not a blind faith. We are aware, but when it comes to the question that what is it which is helping us, then we don't find any answer. We just believe, and there is. So when you start
Give me an
believing, you
example.
stop
Give me an
questioning.
example. Give me an example of your being helped. Give me an example of how you felt like you were helped. Give me an example.
Okay. So a couple of years back, I
Yeah.
was traumatized. I was having some anxiety and I was having some stress.
Hmm.
And I have talked to many of my friends. Like some of them are in neurology. They study science, like
Right.
depth, deep. But they couldn't help me. And I was like, okay, well, God will help me somewhere. And there are some superstition where I was thinking that only God can help me. And I kept on doing what I was doing. I was preparing for an exam, and I kept on preparing. And the success rate of that exam is very low.
Hmm.
And despite that, I could clear that exam, and I got admission in one very prominent university of my country. And I got no anxiety, I got no stress, I got no fear while appearing at the exam.
Hmm.
It was like a very smooth, very perfect exam for me in my whole fucking life.
Right.
And it was all because I was a believer of God. I was believing that there is something helping me. There is something which is
Right.
helping me.
Right.
And yeah, So
I
there was
understand that.
something miraculous.
I understand that. That those are all your efforts and all your creation. So if you believe that you're actually praying to something and it's going to help you, that's you creating that feeling, and it will help you. I believe that. But to actually think there was something that bestowed a grace upon you, that's nonsense. And nobody deserves any grace if everybody doesn't deserve grace. All right. If one person deserves grace, everybody does. So I'm not buying that. You are the one that created that feeling.
Well, I've seen other people as well who have this particular feeling and
They're
who have
doing the same thing.
felt
They're
this.
doing the same thing you did. They're doing the same thing you did. They're pushing in a certain direction, and they're committing to it. That's all a mental reorganization of your energy. That's all that is, and it's a focus that you're gathering. I get it, and it works, but it's not a. There isn't something out there that's actually doing anything for you. You're the one doing it, and all of your friends that experienced it, they were the ones doing it. Because it doesn't happen unless you make this crazy effort to focus. That's what you were doing. You were focusing.
Mm.
I mean, I'm a firm believer that if anyone deserves grace, we all do. So if we're not all getting it, you're only getting it because you created it. Alrighty then. Checkmate. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Okay, that's not an example, man. You're asking questions. You're not giving examples. Okay. It's VRP. Maybe same guy. Let's see. Use the mic, man. Let's see how to believe a God exists.
Andre, what's up, Andre?
Philosopher, can you give me the link of your YouTube channel?
Sure, but you can type philosopher. You can find easily. If you're not able to do that right now, I'll give you the link. Oh yeah, Andre sent the link right now, which is live. You can use that link also, or you can use this one. Because if you listen to the live one, there'll be latency and it might be stuttering a little bit.
Alrighty then.
Yes, then you open the doors and windows to breathe. Yeah, and you start to believe a God exists after that? Too slow.
Hola, amigo. What's up, Andre? So, are you still a God believer, King?
Okay. You think you were very convincing, Horatio?
I'm wondering if I disabused him of the notion. King? I'm calling you King because that's all you got on your avatar.
Yeah, man. I'm a
Are
chess
you? Are
player,
you?
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We have a chess player in the room, Bulldog.
Ah,
I mean, Jack is a chess player. You two might want to
I've
roll.
been playing chess from last 10 or 12 years. I'm not very old. I'm only 21 years old. I was born in 2004.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you've been playing for the last 10, 12 years, or you haven't been playing?
Yep.
You have.
I have been playing.
Okay. Well, talk to
Mm.
Jack.
your heart and Allah will come to guide you. Okay.
So my question is, do you still believe there's a creator God? Do you still feel justified in thinking there's a creator God?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Uh, well, it's more about belief. If I believe, then for me it does exist. For those who don't believe, it doesn't.
Right.
It's some sort of double-slit experiment where it feels like it is. Some say it's a wave, some say it's a particle, and it's tremendously both.
A
So when you're
particle.
observing it, it's
What's the other thing? Particle, and what's the other? You said it's a what?
uh it's a wave.
Oh, a wave. Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the behavior of light when it's observed.
Yeah. I don't know why you're going into all that, but yeah, science. Listen, I don't follow any of that shit. It's too complicated for me.
hmm the things are very complicated. uh, even you try hard to understand, you cannot, no
When they
matter how
talk
hard you try.
when they talk about in the quantum world where something can be in two places at the same time, I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I don't think that
hmm
makes any sense. So I don't mess with all that shit. It's over my head. I don't know. Let the scientists wrestle with that. Yeah. So it feels real to you because you believe it, and that's all you need.
Yeah,
That
yeah. If it works
that
for me,
yeah, right. That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
that's what continuation as a species is all about. If it works, you will continue. That's what evolution is all about. If it works, you will continue.
Mm.
Doesn't have
All
to
I
be
need,
true. Doesn't have to be
yeah,
true.
it doesn't have to be true. All I need is whether it is resonating with my needs
Right.
and is it leading to positive outcomes or not.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. But to forward it as a something that everyone should embrace, I to the extent that if it works for you, it works. It's good. But is it true, or is it something that we all need to recognize as real? It's only real to the extent that it works, but it's only because of your belief system, and you're lining up your energy properly,
hmm
which is good. And that's what a lot of things do. A lot of philosophies, ideologies, religions, they try to line up your energies to conduct yourself better. It's an honest attempt. I don't knock religion as far as its motivation, but I end up criticizing it for some of the stupidity that it includes in its doctrine. You know, religion is always a problem for me when it comes to its doctrine, its scripture, its mandates. You know, It's not good. It's all man-made, so it's always going to have a terrible bias to it.
Well,
So
Yep.
if talking about uh, like you're saying religion, like you're generalizing religion, but let's see the difference between the Quran and the Bible. The Bible
no,
has
let's
been
not.
changed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
church
Quran has been
has.
turned inside out. Uthman threw out I don't know how much of the
Yeah.
submissions that were brought to his attention. So don't tell me the
No,
Quran
no, talking
hasn't been
talking
turned inside
for real,
out.
Horatio. The
What?
Quran has been saved. The Quran has been never changed.
Did
The opposite,
Uthman burn anything and throw anything out or not?
the Uthman.
These are people that were being relied upon to memorize the Quran. And some of them made it
Yes.
in, and some of them did not. So don't tell me it wasn't turned inside out. It was.
No, like for ages, there are people all over the world who has been
Uh-huh.
saved the Quran. They know the Quran. They can recite the Quran, all of it. Like there are competitions for young kids, like 8, 9 years
You're
old,
talking
who
about something
knows
very.
the
You're
Quran.
talking about something very specific, which has
Yes,
nothing to do with what I'm saying. Nothing to do
no,
with it.
I'm telling
You
you,
said the Bible
right?
has been corrupted, and I'm telling you
Yeah,
the Quran has been corrupted because a million people submitted
yeah.
what they thought were Quranic verses, and Uthman said, "This yes, this no, this yes." This no. So don't tell me it hasn't been corrupted.
Uthman, who's Uthman you're talking about?
Yeah, Uthman.
Who is that? Who is Uthman?
Oh my goodness, he was
He
a
was a
caliph.
companion of Muhammad.
He was a
Oh,
caliph.
Uthman ibn Affan. Uthman ibn
The
Affan.
third caliph. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Uthman ibn Affan. Yes,
Abu
there are
Bakr, Omar,
Abu
and
Bakr
Umar
Siddiq. Yes,
rather, and
yes,
then
yes.
Uthman.
Yeah.
So there was a
Oh,
lot of
so he threw
reorganizing.
out all the Qurans.
There was a lot of
Reorganizing.
reorganizing of yes.
Yes,
So
reorganizing, but not
and
changing,
who
Horatio.
reorganized it? Who reorganized it? A man, not a god.
Man, yes,
A
yes.
man
It
organized
is a
it.
man organized. Yes, it is. There are verses that has
Okay.
been what's the verb?
Changed.
No, not changed. There are verses that has
Corrupted.
been that the
Changed.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, on Mecca and Medina. There are verses in Mecca and verses in Medina. You know that, right?
I don't care about the history.
What's that
I
got
don't
to
care.
do with the
Ye-
burning of
Yes, the
Qurans?
organization of the verses in the Quran is human made. Yeah, the companions of the Prophet Muhammad has organized the verses in the Quran, but
Okay,
never
Andre, which Quran
changed.
do you have? Which Quran do you have? Do you have
There
a
is only one Quran,
which
Bulldog.
one do you have? I asked you. I don't care if there's one or 1,000. Which one do you have?
Yes, for you it may seem like there are versions of the Quran, but
Are
it's
you going
all
to give me
one,
the
it's
answer?
all the
Which one
same.
do you have?
Warsh,
Okay, you got the wash. Okay,
yes, there
okay.
is Hifz
Let's
and Warsh.
okay. Let me ask you some questions. You got the wash Quran, all right?
Yes,
Okay. Now Uthman, he gathered up the Qurans that he didn't like and he burnt them, right? So show me Uthman's Quran.
Uthman's Quran.
Yeah,
No, no,
you can't show me
there is
Uthman's
no
Quran.
such thing.
He
There
was
is
the
no such
companion of
thing,
Muhammad.
Bulldog.
We've already been through this. You've got the Wash Quran, which was 200 to 300 years after Muhammad, right? But Uthman was alive at the time of Muhammad. So I want Uthman's Quran.
There is no such thing, Bulldog.
There is. Okay, so Uthman didn't exist.
Where did you get that from? That Uthman ibn
It's
Affan
common.
has changed the
It's common
Quran.
knowledge. What do you mean? Where did I get it from? Everybody know that you agreed that Uthman gathered up the Quran and burnt the ones he didn't like, correct?
No, this is not true.
Okay, he didn't do it. So they're
No.
lying.
The Quran is saved, Bulldog.
I didn't
Either
ask
you
you
like
if
it
you
or
were
not.
saved. I asked you about
Yes,
Uthman's
but do you
Quran.
agree with me, guys? Like Horatio and
I don't
Bulldog, you guys
agree with you,
agree
sir.
that
You don't even agree with
that the
history.
Quran has not been changed.
What do you mean
Okay,
it hasn't
so
been
so
changed?
so hang on. So
It's
did
changing
Uthman burn
verses.
Quran? Answer the question. Did he burn the Qurans that he didn't like? It's either
Anytime you
yes
throw
or
No,
no.
anytime you
no, that's
throw
not
out a
true.
submission that's been offered, you have changed the Quran. These people were all relied upon to deliver what they memorized. Some people's memorization was thrown out and some were kept. That's that's
Andre, do you
corruption.
agree that Uthman burnt Qurans he didn't like? It's either yes or no.
This is not true.
Okay, so it's a bullshit story.
It is, yeah.
How do you
More,
know it's
more,
bullshit? How do you
more
know?
of a bullshit. Because you got it from the atheist
I got it
forums
from
on
a
the
Muslim
internet.
website.
Oh, really? Please feel free.
Yes.
Share it on the chat. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, but you already agreed that it's bullshit, so you're going to disagree, so it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna prove you that it's bullshit.
How?
Yeah, go ahead. Share it on the
How are
chat
you going
without
to how are
telling
you
me.
going to prove
AI
that
says
Uthman? So did Uthman?
AI says he burned it.
Who said? Who said that?
AI says that he burnt a bunch of shit. AI. When I asked the computer, I mean, everybody knows that Uthman had a lot of sorting out to do. And again, somebody that offers you a Quranic verse and you throw it out, that's a revision. That's a corruption.
This
Because
is not true, Horatio.
the next person whose submission you keep, eh, what makes them more valid than the person you threw out? They're both telling you what they know. How do you make up your mind who's lying and who's not? How do you do that? Through corruption, through whatever you want it to be, that's what you
Yeah.
keep, and that's nonsense. It's man-made.
It
It's
is, it is,
man-made.
it is. Also, for explaining the verses, the Quran has been
Yeah, yeah.
brought
Inter-
in a hard
interpreted.
language, a difficult language to understand, which is Arabic language, the classic
Yeah,
Arabic language. It's so hard
yeah,
to understand,
yeah.
even for Arabic speakers. So
Right.
some Muslim extremists, yeah, goes explaining the Quran verses uh, for what they want. Yeah. So, for example, the Quran says drinking is prohibited. Yeah, drinking alcohol is haram. Right.
No, it doesn't say that. You're wrong.
Well, it does, Bulldog.
No, it
Sur-
doesn't.
surprise. It
It
does.
says it says in a later verse that it's
Yes.
actually good to make money off of. It's good to it's a blessing for you.
Yeah.
It came
It says a
slowly.
couple
Yeah.
of things.
Like,
So
yeah.
so there's a contradiction in the Quran.
Christian Prince did a whole thing on that.
Yes, at the beginning it said like don't pray when you are drunk. Yeah, like it came
Yeah.
slowly to get people out of that
Oh, okay.
circle.
So
Yes,
Allah could make
so
up his mind straight away.
yeah, so for example, I want to drink. Okay, so
Mm.
I'm gonna explain that verse, that specific verse of the Quran for what I want, right? So I can get what I want according to that verse. One verse of the Quran, you can explain it in many different ways, yeah, which is not the right
So
way.
it's not clear
It,
then, is it?
no, like understanding the
All right. So
Quran
when
must
people say
be
it's
in
a clear Quran, it's
must
not
be an
clear. It should be
academic
the
way.
unclear Quran.
You cannot explain the Quran as you want, yeah, and for what you want.
Oh, okay. So all the Muslims who try to explain it as they want, they're all wrong then.
That's the problem. That's what made
Ah,
ISIS, and
right.
that's
So we've got
what
a
made
problem with the
Muslim
Quran.
extremists. Yes, like everybody explaining the Quran as they want, same as the Bible as well. The
Well, we're
church
not
has
talking about
changed
the
the
Bible. We don't
Bible.
care about the Bible. We're talking about the Quran.
Yes, we finished
Don't
talking about
drag
the
another
Quran.
book in. Don't drag another book in to validate your argument, okay? Stay on topic.
Okay, what else about the Quran, Bulldog? What you
Well,
got?
it says also, don't go to the mosque while you're drunk. So that means you can stay home and be drunk. Okay, don't go pray while you're drunk, right? So in other words, drinking alcohol is not prohibited.
Mm-hmm.
It's like me saying, don't drink and drive. And I don't drink and drive. I stay home and drink. So alcohol's okay. What have you got to say about that? Nothing. So the Quran's not clear then, is it? And you still haven't agreed that Uthman burnt the Quran. AI agrees with me too. Uthman burnt the Quran. So there is no one Quran like you say. So you lied.
That is not true, Bulldog. Try hard
Okay, you
next
said
time.
you had a wash Quran,
Okay.
right? There's other Qurans out there. Are you going to say show me?
What did you say?
Are you going to ask me to show you all the different Qurans?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Now let me explain to
Hang on,
you.
let me find them. There's so many.
Go ahead. All right. And when we finish talking about the Quran, I want to talk about the Bible as well and how the
Oh,
church
I don't know nothing
corrupted
about
the
the Bible.
Bible.
Forget about the Bible, okay?
We gotta talk about the Bible as well.
No, we don't.
No, I brought Islam as an example for a response for
No, because
Horatio
you said
earlier.
you're a Muslim, you
We
pray.
were talking
That's what we're
about
talking about.
religion. Yeah, we're talking about religion, and I brought the Quran as an example. Okay,
Okay,
and
so you brought
then
a
I want
bad
to bring
example.
the Bible as another example, and then we continue talking about the importance of religion
It's not important. It's stupid.
for you. Yeah.
No, for everybody. Because you said in the side chat that you pray and you get your prayers answered, and I'd like to know which ones get answered. Can you tell everybody in the room about your answered prayers?
That's another question.
Yeah, I know it's another question. Can you answer it?
No.
Why not?
No.
You should be bragging about it, because if I had prayers answered, I'd be bragging about it and telling the whole world.
Well, yeah, this is a kind of relationship that I developed with God. It's my personal relationship with God. You are not interfering. You are.
No,
You have
I'm
nothing
not.
to
I'm
do with
not.
that.
I'm not interfering, right? If you want to have a little secret chit chat with God, I don't
Okay.
need to listen to it. I just want to talk about your answered prayers. I don't care about your relationships. Now, would you like to tell everybody about your answered prayers?
I'm not
To
answering your
you have to
questions,
prove that it's
Bulldog.
real. I'll be a believer. If you can tell me about your answered prayers, I'll go, you beauty, I'm joining the club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll bring another person into it.
And Bulldog, like, do you think I care about your relationship with God?
I don't
That's
have a
something
relationship
personal.
with God because I don't believe it.
There's the Quranic
Exactly.
verse. This is the Quranic verse that talks about alcohol being good. It's chapter 16, verse 67.
And do we have a good translation to English here?
Yeah, it's in the side chat. This got Sahih International, Pict Hall, Yusuf Ali, Shakir. Take your pick.
Yeah.
That's Muhammad Sarwar, Mohsin Khan.
See all those Qurans on the screen? They're all Arabic Qurans.
Apparently,
all
Allah couldn't make up his mind about alcohol. Alrighty then. Andre,
Yes, sir. I'm
you're a
here.
good man. Be nice.
I'm here.
You're a good man. Be nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was reading that
And where's King? He
announcement
left.
from.
Yeah, King left.
See, there's just 3 Qurans there that I've got, and they're all in Arabic only. They're not in, and they're all interpretations. So what makes your Quran you said there was only one, you lied. There's lots.
Well,
So
those are not different versions of the Quran.
they are. They are. It
It's
says it on
not
the
for
front
you.
cover.
It seems like
It
for you.
says
It
it on
seems
the
like
front
different
cover,
versions.
dickhead. It
Bulldog,
says it
are you
on
gonna
the
listen
front
to me
cover.
or not?
Listen
Hey,
here. Listen
no,
to me
you
very
listen to me.
carefully.
You
No,
listen
you
to me,
listen to me.
Bulldog.
No, it says
Oh
on the
God,
front
go
cover,
ahead.
it's interpretation. I highlighted it for you because I know you can't read. It says interpretation.
It's not.
It says it on the front cover. That means it's someone's interpretation. And they're all different. And that's only 3 out of probably 30. Look, here's another one.
Yeah. Hey, we come on, come to the logic, okay? Just because some people start to believe your God exists, that doesn't mean it's true. And why you're not looking at other scientists, other religions? Daniel said, yeah, there are Christian scientists. That means Christianity is true, Islam is false? No, right? There are many atheist scientists. And who do you think is going deeper? What if the ones that you think they're just in the middle, that they're not able to think properly or deeply enough? Maybe that's why they're confused. They find something that they cannot explain properly, and they assume that there is a God behind it controlling all those things. But that's a logical mistake also. And here's the thing: if you just look at scientists, there are all kind of scientists, believers, non-believers. When you look at believers, you will find many religions. Okay, they cannot be right at the same time, right? Most of them must be false. We don't know who exactly, but most of them must be false. And how to figure out who's false? The ones who believe a God exists, or the ones who don't believe a God exists?
Who were you talking to, V?
Oh, we left. Yeah. Anyway,
He
it was
left.
general. That's what people do. And what's that thing, Jack, about these versions of the Quran? I was engaging with messages mostly, so I missed the topic.
What do you want to know?
Oh, what you were discussing exactly about these
Yeah,
versions?
they're all different. All different.
Oh,
They're
okay.
all those Qurans are all written by different people, right?
Oh, but you know that like those differences are very tiny.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
Differences are
okay, no
different,
problem, no problem, no problem.
and some of the differences aren't very tiny. All right, some of them are blatantly opposite.
Opposite. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
like for instance, it might say something like, "Don't kill the Jews," and the other one says, "Yeah, kill the Jews." That's blatantly obvious, and it's like, well, that's obviously different, you
Oh,
know.
once I checked deeply about this, and I couldn't find such kind of difference.
Oh yeah, well, I can show you some differences. Hang on a second.
No, you don't have to. I have seen differences, but not.
Oh well, okay, well, I don't have to show you then.
Yeah, you don't have to. Like I just couldn't see the one that you mentioned.
Oh, they're all of those Qurans, right? Every like he's got a wash Quran, right? That's not even the most popular one.
Yeah, that only North Africa uses it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because he's the one who said there's only one, right? That means they have to be like, which is not true, by the way, right? But he said there's only one, and I've just shown you like 4 or 5, and they're all different. It doesn't matter, you know. If, you know, you can't claim that it's perfect when there's differences in there.
That's the part that they don't understand. Every time I debate about this, they say, "But hey, the main topic of this book is the same, and it's not
No, it's
different."
not. It's not even close. You know, but see, you destroy them with them saying there's only one Quran, which is a lie, right? And all of these Qurans were all written hundreds of years after Muhammad, so they had no knowledge of, you know, like what was in the original. They're making it up, in other words.
We are P. Okay.
What up, man?
Hey man, welcome.
Can you ask Jack to unblock me?
Uh, someone who
Jack.
Jack
He,
blocked you. I think he has a reason for that, and I can't ask him to
Oh,
unblock you.
um, if you have any discussion with
No,
him,
no,
there
no,
is
no,
no.
no, no.
I'm
We
not
are
gonna be able to
no.
follow it. Follow,
Yeah, I'm
discussion.
sorry for that. I'm sorry. Sorry, I can't help with that, and I can't have conversation both with you and with him, and it's unfair if you just came later and if I just go and speak with you, because he will not be able to listen you also.
Yeah.
Maybe next time, VRP.
So as you can see in the side chat, he says, so it's impossible to find the original. No one's got an original because there's no such thing. No one's got it.
That's yeah, a little bit ambiguous because there are those incidents that they tell if it's true. Yeah, they burned, and they burned which one exactly? And I think there was a
Yeah, and how
hadith.
many did burn? And how okay, if I said to you, look, um, go and burn all the bullshit Qurans and you go out searching for them, how do you know you found them all? You don't know. You might find 10, 20. How do you know there's not 150 bullshit Qurans out there? You don't know.
If I'm not wrong, there's a hadith even says that they burned even the one which Aisha brought, and I was like, really? Like, if they even burned that one, so there was something going on so weird. Yeah, like how have to trust like they preserved the original one and they burnt the problematic ones.
And
We
who
don't
was
know that.
Uthman? Just because he was a companion, who gives him the right to say which one's the right one and which one's the wrong one? He's just an ordinary bloke off the street.
Yeah. There was that problem.
You know, the most popular Quran is the Hafs, and he's got a wash. I'll give now that he's got a wash here. Here's just one difference in the in it between the Hafs and the wash. This is just one. There's lots of them. They're on the internet.
I think there was
You know,
10 versions.
see, even in the first paragraph, or do you say, or do they say? So that's a big difference. It's like, who's saying it? Is it you or them? Which one's saying it?
And there was one of them in the one version it says kill, and the other one says fight.
Yeah. There's a big difference between living and dying, isn't it? One of them, your life's on the line, and the other one's just a fight. At least after a fight, you can go home. You don't go home after you get killed.
Oops, AI question. How many Quran exists? There isn't a single definitive answer to how many versions of the Quran exist.
Yeah, you
Here's a
need to
breakdown.
do research and find by yourself. It's so ridiculous that you guys depend in all your knowledge based on AI answers. Yes, you can learn from AI,
Well,
but
Hey, but
my
hey,
teacher,
do
Andre,
your
what's the
research.
problem? What's the problem with this answer that there are many versions of the Quran?
Well, I don't think the AI can answer all of your questions,
Forget
but
about
you're
like
not doing.
AI answering all the questions. What about this
it's
one? Do you think that this answer is
Yeah,
false?
it's just you being lazy ass. Yeah, asking AI,
I
giving you
knew
short
the
answers,
answer
not doing any
before the
effort.
ChatGPT,
You
man.
are not doing. You are doing no effort
I
finding
knew
answers.
the answer before ChatGPT, man. So you think that this answer
Excellent.
is false?
I didn't say it's false.
Okay, then what the
Not,
hell are you saying right
but you're
now?
not looking for the answer that you're looking for.
Oh,
You're not
really?
getting the answer. Yeah, that's not
Okay.
the answer that you're looking for.
What's the answer that I was looking for? And how can you claim
Go
to know that what I was looking for?
go and find it by yourself.
Find what?
The answer you're looking for.
What answer that you think that I'm looking for right now?
I have no idea what you're looking for.
What the hell are you talking then?
Seems like you're not satisfied by the AI's answer.
No, I knew the answer before the AI bots implemented such platforms or before ChatGPT.
Okay.
What's the problem with this information?
There is no problem. There is no
Okay,
problem.
then why we're talking unnecessarily right now? So, so you don't accept that there were versions of the Quran?
No.
Okay,
I mean,
and you follow which
you
one?
can say we can say there are versions of the Quran, but there is zero difference. Like
Zero.
it's all
no, there's
the
not. I
same.
just showed
The
you the
way
difference. You
Uh,
can watch
bulldog,
one
bulldog,
difference.
bulldog. When someone is speaking, first you listen. Yeah, till I
Yeah,
finish
but I
speaking,
don't
and
want
then
you
you
to
can
keep
speak.
talking bullshit
Yeah, but
and
when
Stop
someone
interrupting,
presents
bro.
evidence, maybe you should check the evidence also. He was copy pasting the differences in the
House
chat.
version. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Yes. Or you do say that the Abraham and the Ismail, Isaac and Jacob and the tribe of Israel. ولنا آمنا ولكم آمناكم ونحن له مخلصون أم تقولون إن إبراهيم وإسماعيل وإسحاق ويعقوب والأسباط كانوا يهودا أو نصارى قل أنتم أعلم أم الله. Like say you have the knowledge or God have the knowledge. It's the same. It's literally the same, Bulldog. It's
no,
literally
it's
the same.
not. No, it's not the same. It's actually not. It says, do they say, or do you say? So it's like, who's saying it?
يقولون
Is it you or them?
يقولون.
No, it's not the same. Look, I think you're trying to. I think you're trying to
Yeah, yeah,
jump
yeah.
the law.
I appreciate that. I appreciate all the effort you're
I
doing,
know, but you're not
Bulldog.
appreciating my
Looking,
answer, which
yeah,
makes you look silly.
finding mistakes, looking for mistakes in the Quran, and I really appreciate that effort
Well, what do you
because
got to say
you
about it? Don't worry about how much you appreciate it. I want you to explain, is it who's saying it? Is it them or you? Because that's what the
let me
verse says.
see.
It's like they say it or you saying it.
Yeah, but do you see how complicated is the Arabic language?
That's not complicated. No, it's the opposite to complicated. It's very easy. I know what words say and I know what
It's
words
not.
mean,
It's not.
right? Now,
All right.
you got
All
to explain to
translations
me
have slightly
why
different
there's
wording,
difference.
but
And
they
you
are
said, number one,
trying to
you said there's
express
only
the
one
meaning
Quran.
of the
You lied
same
about
Arabic
that.
verse.
And then you said that there's no
Bulldog,
differences. And I've already pointed out,
bulldog, chill, chill, bulldog, relax.
no, you chill.
You chill.
Answer the question. Come on, you're in the hot seat.
What was the question? Is there any
Why is there
different
differences
versions of the
between
Quran?
the wash and the halves? Who's talking? Is it
Big
them
difference.
saying it or it says you saying it? That's a big difference.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
just
the.
only one problem in there's lots and lots of problems between the halves and the wash. I'm just showing you one. If we can't get off this one, I'm not letting just this one slide. I'm going to go and you're going to either admit that there's a problem because a minute ago you said there's only one Quran. You lied about that. So I'm thinking that you're going to try and lie about the differences. So this is the problem, Andre. You shouldn't start off lying because then you're going to have to tell more lies to cover up the last lie you told. And I know you're going to get hot and flustered like you normally do, right? Because you can't answer, right? And then you're going to say it means the same when it doesn't mean the same.
I'll get you an answer.
Yeah, when?
I'm doing my research.
Cool.
Oh,
While you're
really?
researching,
What?
I want to mention about the other differences. Like there's one even with the first surah, like where it says Maliki means king, and the other version says Maliki means owner. So this is a slight difference. That's a
Well,
huge
yes,
difference. It
yeah,
doesn't
it's.
contradict, but still it's a difference. They
Mhm.
type it differently, they read it
Yeah.
differently. The meaning is slightly different. So what is the
The meaning
difference?
is the same. The meaning in
The
Arabic, if
meaning
you
in
read it,
Arabic, in
listen,
Arabic,
listen to
the
me.
meaning one means king,
Listen to
one
me.
means
Good.
owner, man.
Hey, listen to me. In the Arabic language, if you know Arabic language, yeah, you read it, the meaning is literally the same.
No, that's
But if
false
you if
because
you are
like
we
those
are speaking,
translations are coming from the native
wait,
Arabic speakers. They translate
yeah,
it differently, so that means it's different according to them. Like I don't know Arabic, but I didn't translate the Quran.
exactly. You're
Those
not listening
Arab
to me.
people,
That's
yeah,
why
those
you're.
Arab people translate it, and they translate it differently, so that means they're different in Arabic. If they were the
Do you know how
same,
many
they
words
would
in the in
translate in the
Arabic
same way.
language?
I don't care how many words in Arabic language. Like those translations belong to Arab people who are native speakers of Arabic.
Yeah,
If
I've
they
been studying
translate
Arabic language since I
differently,
was 5 years old. Yeah.
do you have a Quran translation? I'm talking about the people who study this, who translate this, and I'm talking about those people who are Arabs. Okay,
Yes. So
and why the hell they translated it differently if the meaning is the same? That means it's not the same. Okay, tell me, so it's your native language, right? Tell me, like,
no, it's not my native language.
oh, it's not your native language even.
No.
Okay,
But I've been studying Arabic since I was 5 years old.
cool, cool. So tell me, like, these words are the same words, kabiran, kasiran. Tell me,
Kabiran and kathiran.
yeah.
Kabiran is something big, and kathiran is about the quantity.
So that means those are different words, right?
What is that? Which verse is that?
Oh, I don't remember the verse number, but like in one version it says kabiran, and in the other version it says kasiran. And if you say that, oh, this is not a difference, but you just prove that they're different words. And let me search. I can find where it says.
There are more.
Have you read the Al Susi Quran, Andre?
Sorry.
The Al Susi Quran. It's on the screen. I posted it.
A Susi.
Yeah, it's on the screen. It's Quran. It's another Quran that you say that doesn't exist, but it does. And in that
Okay.
Quran, there
There
versus
is.
the halves, versus the
Yeah.
halves says one says he did it, and the other one said we did it. So which one is it, he or we? There's a big difference. And that's a Quran that you don't have. So your one Quran nonsense has been destroyed. We're showing you multiple Qurans with multiple
Wow.
differences. Yeah, I
What
know.
a great discovery you made, Bulldog.
It's amazing when you get cooked, isn't it? See, I've told you before to stop your lies because you're going to get exposed. But you continue to think that you can pull the wool over people's eyes. Can't. The internet's a powerful tool.
Yeah. All right. Here is a page for you, Bulldog. You find a comparison between all the editions, let's say, instead of versions. Yeah, and it shows you the difference in.
So now you're agreeing now that it's different. Okay. So you agree that there's multiple Qurans, right?
No,
And
not
then, and
multiple
also,
Quran. The
now you're
same
also
Quran.
agreeing there's
I'm doing my
differences.
Bulldog. I'm doing my
You're just
research
doing your
also.
research
I'm
today,
also.
are you? Oh, that's good. Well, now that you're doing your research, you won't be able to fight with me. You'll agree with me. There's different Qurans and differences.
It's
So you won't be saying that
literally
anymore
this.
to people, will you?
It's
Or are you
literally the
or
same.
are you going to double down and keep lying?
Bulldog, shut up. It's literally the same meaning.
No, it's not
Literally the
literally
same.
the same
Hey,
meaning.
Andre,
Different
you
meaning.
just proved that it's not the same meaning. I just said Kebir
It
and
is.
Kesir, and you just said no.
That's
This
another
means
verse.
this.
That's another verse.
Yeah, that's
No,
another
that's
verse.
another verse.
So what?
Bring the verse.
I
Bring the verse
brought you
and
the
we will
verse
discuss it.
33:68. Okay, you can check it.
Yeah, and by the way, just to explain something for your fans on YouTube and the people listening to us here, uh, I'm not that knowledgeable about the Quran, but I am discovering the Quran with you also, guys. That's why I said earlier to Bulldog, I appreciate all the efforts you're doing, looking for mistakes in the Quran, because every time he comes with a verse, I do my research also, and I discover something new about the Quran. But I never agreed that there are versions of the Quran and different meanings, and the Quran is one. Yeah, it's all the same. That's it.
That's your belief, and you should reach that belief
That's
after
a fact. I'm
researching.
sharing facts
Hey,
with you.
man, you just said that I don't know much about these things, and every time I come, he's questioning something. So now he's questioning something,
Yes, I help
and
you.
you just confess that you don't know, and maybe you should decide after you research, okay? And you're saying that it's a fact that there's only
But
one Quran, and that
but
like there's no difference.
I'm helping you guys. You guys don't speak Arabic. I do. I can help you like with the better
And you helped
translation.
us to prove that there are difference. Thank you for that. Also, we also appreciate your help.
Okay, well, let's continue finding the differences in the Quran.
Oh, like I just shared one. Why you're not checking it?
Let me check it up.
And you already said like, well, what the hell you're checking, by the way? So you think that I'm lying about this fact? Maybe you can think that it's okay, but you just said that they're different. One
Yeah.
means this,
No,
and the
no,
other
no,
one.
no. For wait a second, philosopher. For Bulldog, the pictures that he's sharing and pointing at those small dots, yeah, these small dots are only for the pronouncing. The way you pronounce the word,
No, they're
yeah,
not.
it
They mean
doesn't it
no,
doesn't
don't
change
lie,
the
don't lie.
meaning.
The meaning can't be the same if you're changing. If you put dots on something, it means something else. If you don't put dots there, it means something different.
Jack,
Don't you
Jack,
try
Jack,
to pull the
Jack,
wool
Jack,
over my
Jack,
eyes.
Jack. Since we don't know Arabic, but maybe we shouldn't claim that. But definitely, there are places where the dots are changing the meaning. We're sure about that. Also, we have evidence for that. So he even proved that. Like Kabir and Kasiran is also about dots. Okay, and when they change the dots, the meaning changes. He just proved that they have different meanings. So, but that doesn't mean all dots change the meaning. No, we can't reach that conclusion. Also, but we have already evidence, right? He can claim that the one that you shared doesn't change the meaning. Okay, no problem. But he can't deny the other ones. Greco, it means it breaks at least one claim, which is Quran has been preserved, and even a letter hasn't been changed. So it breaks this claim. That's why we're discussing. Yet, this is the famous answer of Muslims. They say, "Oh, wait a second. There is a message in the Quran. The message doesn't change. It doesn't affect the message." I can agree with that because those are small changes. I accept that they're very tiny differences. But the
Yeah,
Quran is a very big book. And you can't change the entire message with some dots, okay? Because they're not even causing contradictions. That's why it cannot change the whole message. But there is
there
a
you go.
claim coming from the believers for a long time. They say that Quran has been preserved letter by God, which is not true that we see with the evidence.
Hey, Andre, is there a difference between 1 and 2?
What?
Is there a difference? If I say there's one person over there, and then I say no, there's two people over there, is that the same or is it different?
In which context?
In any
Talking about.
context.
No, I mean if it's
So one
if
and
it's
two mean the same.
okay.
No, okay. I'm going to ask you again. Is there a difference between 1 and 2? Don't give
Uh,
me the bullshit about what context, any context. Answer the question. Is there a difference between
Bulldog,
1 and 2?
Bulldog.
Don't
Listen.
repeat my name. Repeating my name is not going to solve your problem. Is there a
No,
difference between one and
you are
two?
not listening. You are not
I
listening. You
am
have listening
listening. I'm
issues.
waiting for your answer.
Answer for what? If it's one or
Is
two
there a
different.
difference
Yes. Hear,
between
listen to my. Hear
1
me out.
and 2?
Listen to my
That
answer.
is
Okay.
my question.
Andre, look, first of all, I will let you answer.
Sure.
I will mute him. Don't worry. But you
Mm-hmm.
can't say you don't let me answer if you don't even listen the question. So he was asking the question many times, and seemingly you didn't hear
Yes,
or
I
you didn't
heard the
listen,
question.
and you're
I
complaining that
hear.
he's not letting you the answer, and then you're saying,
No,
"What is
no.
the
Before.
question?"
Yes. Listen. I know Bulldog. I had millions of conversations with him
Forget
before.
about how
I
many
know how
times
to
we've met.
deal.
We're not talking about
I know how
birthday
to deal with
parties.
that person. Okay. I heard the question, Bulldog.
Okay,
Shut
no,
up and listen to my answer, please.
it's the
But
time to
yes,
answer the
before
question. Okay.
before giving you the answer, yeah, I want to explain something quickly. That translating Arabic to English, it's not that easy job.
Hmm.
Okay,
So that's
it's
why
not
you're
that
not doing
easy
that.
job. I help you guys. I help you with the translation. Like I read it in Arabic, I get the meaning, and I try to find like the best words in English
You try
to
to find.
keep
You
the
don't need to
same
do
meaning.
that, man. Like there are people already translated the Quran.
And you guys still don't get it.
We get it, but we see that the meanings are different.
Yeah.
And those translations
So
are made by Arab people.
yeah,
Yeah, well, why we should need your interpretation right now or translation? We don't need that. There are already ready translations out there, and those were native Arabic speakers, and you know they're not just random people try to translate those things. They study those things.
Yes.
Then why they translate differently?
Well, maybe someone has more vocabulary than the other one.
Maybe they mean different, like kabiran, kasiran.
Uh, Let me check up this one, and I'll tell you like my opinion, like what I think about it. Where did you share it earlier? Kabiran and Kathiran.
It's 3368.
Okay, got it.
Let me check it again. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
3368.
yeah, yeah. The Quran was read in various recitations. The Quran's recitation or qira'at is the manner of pronunciation of the Quran.
Yeah.
Does the manner of pronunciation changes the whole meaning?
No one claimed that
Maybe
it
it
changes the
does,
whole
maybe
meaning.
it does not. Yeah,
It changed the
it could be
meaning
slightly
of the.
different.
Yeah. Still, it's a
It could be
difference.
slightly different,
Yeah.
but like the idea, like, do you get the idea? Like, for example, I give you
Andre, I gave this
l-
answer before you gave to me. I know this answer. This is the only answer that Muslims give. Okay, so we're not discussing that. Like we
yes,
agree that it doesn't
yeah.
change the
And
entire
what kind
message.
of
I already
answer do you
said
want?
that. No, no answer. Like we want people to accept that. Yes,
Mm,
this book hasn't been preserved the way that people believe, because many people believe that God protected the Quran letter by letter. This is not true by the evidence. That's all.
okay.
If you can see that, then that's all. That this is the whole argument.
I want to show you another difference because he won't
What you got?
answer
Bring
what
it,
I
bring
got. I've
it.
got lots, so I
Yeah,
can
and
keep you
excuse me just a
occupied here
moment. I'll be right back.
for 10 years.
Okay,
Tell me,
okay.
there we go.
She's sharing in the chat box, so when you come back, you can see it. Like there are many differences like that. One says, for example, "we will say," and the other version says, "he will say." So we or he,
Yeah, that's what I asked him before, and he says that means the same.
and it's not the same.
No, I know. And now I asked him the difference between one and two, and he tried to avoid the answer. He said, "Oh, it depends." Yeah, he's getting cooked here, aren't you, Andre? You're getting cooked, aren't you, buddy?
Come on, Jack. It's
Getting
not
what?
about cooking things.
Getting what?
Cooked.
Getting cooked.
Yeah,
Yes, I am getting cooked. Yes, 30
yeah. You're
degree.
not going to let. Hey, you're going to be very angry after you leave this room. You're going to be a very angry person.
I've never been angry.
Oh, yeah. No, after you leave here, you're going to get very angry, especially with
Yeah.
me. Oh, yeah. You're going to get more angry than you normally do. So, can you explain this difference between one and two?
حتى إذا جاءنا. Yeah.
It's in the
حتى
side
إذا
chat.
جاءنا. Yeah, I see it. I see it. This one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
One
yeah, yeah.
person. حتى إذا
One person or
جاءنا.
two persons. Come on.
Wait a
Which one
second.
is it?
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Time's up.
حتى إذا جاءنا قال يا ليت بيني وبينك بعد المشرقين فبئس القرين. حتى إذا جاءنا قال يا ليت بيني وبينك بعد المش بعد المشرقين فبئس القرين. حتى إذا جاءنا for two persons and جاءنا for one person. This is totally bullshit, Bulldog. I don't know where
Yeah,
you're getting all this from, but
you.
that's totally bullshit.
Yeah,
For
hey, it's
real.
bullshit when it's bullshit when it doesn't go your way, isn't it?
No, 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 no. If
You're
you
getting
translate,
cooked.
that's a totally wrong translation of the verse.
Oh, it's a wrong translation because
It is
you know
wrong.
better.
It's totally wrong. I'm telling
Oh
you.
man, he's cooked.
Where's the
He's
translation,
cooked.
Bida? I don't see any translation.
It's translated on
Oh,
the
okay. One
side.
person and two persons. Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
It doesn't mean one person or two persons.
Oh, it
It
doesn't
has
mean what it
nothing to do
says,
with that.
right? It doesn't mean what it says.
Okay,
It means
what does it
it means
mean?
something else.
What does it mean, Andre?
Yeah, why don't you go get a proper translation
But
by
you said
yourself?
that I can help with the translation just minutes ago.
Okay. And you said I don't need to. So let me do it.
Yeah, because we have
Yeah.
translations. That's why we need,
Hasta.
and seemingly you disagree with the translation. And now I want to see your translation. I want to understand why you disagree right now. Oh, you can't do that. You're searching for
I am
other
doing that.
translations.
I am
Studying Arabic from 5 years old, and you go and search for the translation when
Of
needed.
course, Arabic is a very hard language to learn.
Okay.
It is.
Well, obviously, if it's that hard, you need to study it more because the people who've done this translation, they obviously know better than you.
Hmm. Okay, there is this website called the Noble Quran Encyclopedia.
And
it's highlighted there what it means. It says one person, the other one it said two. It's highlighted for
Verse
you.
38.
I don't need to speak Arabic. I rely on the people who already done it for me.
Verse
It
38.
seems like you
And do
need
you
to brush
trust?
up on Arabic.
Do you trust those people, Bulldog?
It doesn't matter. It's not up to me if I trust them or not. It's what they
Yeah.
say. Yeah. And they've already highlighted the differences between the two. It's either one person or two people. Are you going to try and sit here and tell me that there's no difference between one person and two people now?
It doesn't
Andre,
mean one person or two
Oh, it
person.
doesn't
It has
matter
nothing.
anymore. Yeah, it doesn't
It's
matter
wrong
when you're wrong,
translation.
mate. Every time you're wrong, it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's a good translation I shared on the chat. Until when he comes to us at judgment, he says to his companion, how I wish there was between me and you the distance between the east and the west. And what a wretched companion. In your and what you shared earlier, Jack, that's a translation for the term, yeah, and it's not even correct. Yeah, you translate the whole verse, not just term by term. Okay,
No,
just for
you
you,
translated it.
just for
You
you to
don't know.
understand.
You translate it word by word. Okay, and
If
if
you
one
translate it
translation
word
says
by
one
word,
word by
if you
word, that's
translate
how you
it,
do translation. I'm sorry. No,
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 I am sorry. If you translate it
no,
word by word, you
no.
get a
We're really
completely
sorry.
different meaning. I told you
I've
one
already
word in
shown you the
Arabic,
differences.
bulldog. One word in Arabic can have like 20 or 30
Oh, okay. So that means like when
word
someone
in
says
English.
one, it can really mean 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
What I
You
shared
can
on the chat,
translate
that's
it.
the
Can we
correct
translate one into
translation.
say 9? Can we do it that way? Can we translate it into 1,000 maybe?
Okay.
So basically, what you're telling me, it's a shitty language because it can be translated into hundreds of different ways.
It's a very hard language and difficult
Oh, it's
language
hard. Okay.
to
So yeah, well, obviously,
difficult, very
it's hard,
difficult for you to
hard to do.
understand, very difficult for you to
Yeah,
learn.
it's hard. It's difficult, and all the rest of it. Yeah. So Allah chose the shittiest language on the planet because it's so hard.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've cooked you again, Andre. Sorry about that.
Inshallah,
It's
inshallah. Yeah.
easy for me to
In
cook
your
you.
in your dreams.
No, it's not. It's in reality,
Yeah.
right? we're in a room
Well,
full of people. It's not a dream. It's a
yes, yeah.
reality. And I've
Eh,
cooked you again.
I don't think so, but
Yeah, I
it's
no, I don't care what you think. When you
I
come
don't
into a
wanna.
room, say, well,
Yeah.
it
How
can
many
mean
times,
car, it
uh,
can mean
Bulldog,
bicycle, it can mean motor,
Bulldog?
uh,
We had millions of
aeroplane.
conversations.
When you come in and
Bulldog,
start
you're
talking
not
shit like
listening.
that,
You
you're
are
gonna
not
get
listening.
cooked.
How many times I embarrassed you in front of everybody? Yeah,
Never, not once, never.
and this is what gets you gives you
Yeah,
more
I know.
hate for me, right?
Hey,
Yeah, I
I
Andre,
know.
Andre.
understand. I understand
Hey,
that.
Andre. Like I don't
Yes.
know like what happened before, but it didn't happen today. At least that's
No,
what
nothing
I've
personal.
seen.
Nothing personal. I always have respect for everybody, literally. Yeah. And again, as I said, this is something that nobody will ever tell you, Bulldog. I really appreciate all the effort you're doing discovering the Quran and the religion and all the research you're doing. I really appreciate that. You
It
and
doesn't
Black
sound
Cloud,
like it. It
both
sounds
of
like
you.
you're arguing
This,
with me.
this is something that no Muslim in the world will tell you because everybody hates you. Yeah, for all the bullshit you always talk about. But I told you this several times. I appreciate that effort. Keep it up.
Yeah,
Keep doing that. And
I'm going to. You're not going to stop me.
yes, yeah, and you're not gonna stop me as well. Like I am here.
Yeah, and
I can always
hey,
hear.
Yeah,
and
I
you
wish we could also appreciate the believer side like this.
Yes, I used to organize like moderated debate, religious debate rooms here on Free for Talk. I invite Bulldog. I invite Black Cloud. Those are the atheists. I have Muslim friends. They join as well. You have the question, yeah, you get an answer. Yeah.
That doesn't mean the answer is true.
Well, it depends. It depends on the quality of the convincing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Some people are.
it
Um,
depends on the facts, man. Either the answer is true or false. I know that Muslims always have a lot of answers. Believe me, like the answers that you have
yeah.
given to me today, I gave it to you before you gave it to me. How? Because I listen the same answers again and again. And those are
And
not
you are
satisfying answers.
that means you are looking for a different answer, right?
Not that looking for I look for a satisfying answer, which makes sense, but those answers are not making sense. Saying that, oh, you know what, in the end of the day, it doesn't change the whole message. Okay, that's not the part that we care. But at least you could say, oh, wait a sec, okay, you were saying that I appreciate you, um, Jack. You are asking these questions and it pushes us to search more and more. Okay. But what if
Yeah.
he's right about this one? Like you you sound like you start with the premise, okay, what I believed before is true and nothing can be false, but yet I will search and I will prove myself back again. Like it sounds like that to me. I can be wrong about this, but
Like try hard.
maybe you should also try hard. Like maybe yeah, that there are huge
Try
problems
hard.
here.
Try hard to what? Philosopher. I told you. Uh, I, I don't have like this huge knowledge about the Quran, but I am also like myself. I'm discovering the Quran with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, and I appreciate those religious topics rooms that you create. I join you time to time, and I also understand the stereotype mindset of Muslims online. Yeah, you have deep questions, like you have been asking yourself many questions all the time. So you ask that random person or stranger online that question, and you get the same answer. Yeah, you ask somebody else and you get the same answer. So why don't you ask someone who is specialized
Uh,
in religious debate, someone
huh.
who has
It's
knowledge
not always
about
to learn.
all religions?
Andre, it's not always about learning, but
Yeah,
I'm sure that there are many people you think that they have the knowledge. I'm listening to those people. They don't give me something different also. They give the same thing. That's where people learn. People learn from those scholars. They just repeat the same answers. You think that the people who think that they have the knowledge will say something different? That's what you think? The people who debate about these things, the scholars who debate
Yeah.
on the
So they all have the
platforms,
same.
they have
So
similar
they all
answers.
have the same
Yes.
answer,
Yes.
and that answer is not convincing for you.
How can it be convincing if you claim that God protects this, but yet you say, "Oh, wait a second, these are recitation differences. This is qira'ah. Okay, yeah, this is
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
recitation, but yet, like, it's obviously changing the meaning." When you say that, they say, "Oh, wait a second, it doesn't affect the message. It doesn't change the meaning of the sentence, and etc." So, what can you argue after that?
Okay, okay. Yeah.
And here's the
There is
problem.
one.
Let's
There is only.
suppose like these are,
Mhm.
well, we don't have to suppose these are facts. There are changes, but changes don't mean that the book is not from a god. Okay, there can be a book coming from a god, yet still there can be differences in the book. Like the people can change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem says when you claim that you will protect the book, because it starts becoming ambiguous. You will protect what exactly? For example, you can claim to protect your car. I can change the mirror, okay, well, when you're sleeping, but the car still goes on, right? But it does the job. If that's what you meant, okay, I couldn't change it. But what do you mean exactly to protect it, preserve it? The function of the car or everything about the car? What? Like this is also really ambiguous, and people even don't discuss about that. Like, hey, what is this exactly? Anyway, like now my time is over. If you guys
All
want
right.
to continue, you may, but I'm gonna leave, and I will end the stream on YouTube also. For the people who
Yeah.
watched till this time, thank you so much. Okay, we will see you soon.
Yeah. Thanks for the room and thanks for the talk and catch up with you next time.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.